your name, please? Is it Anshul?
Yes, sir. My name is Anshul Srivastava.
Anshul Srivastava. And where do you belong to, Anshul?
What, sir?
Where do you belong to? Where do you stay?
Sir, I belong to Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh.
Kanpur. Okay, good. All right. I am Kishore Gurbani and I belong to Jaipur, Rajasthan. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today is your first session. Am I right?
Yes, sir. My first shift.
So, yeah, we will be talking about traveling. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, tell me something about traveling.
So, traveling, if when I talk about traveling, it can be uh, different kind of traveling, traveling with family members or traveling with friends and traveling with our teammates or workmates and traveling regenerates and relaxes our mind to in a situation of work when we have to take rest for some time we choose option as travel as an option to relax our mind. So we go on a trip with our family or friends and enjoy certain moments and some some fun we do that and it relaxes our mind. And so like we can also travel with friends uh, in a group of friends. And when we travel with family, so when we travel family it bounded it means it 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 bounds all the family members together for a certain period of time, and we can enjoy a certain destination to calm our mind. We visit a certain place and we see new things that uh, that makes us joy and happiness. That gives us joy and happiness. So travel can
Okay.
uh, yes.
Okay. Anshul, tell me when was the last time you traveled on a family vacation?
So the last time I traveled was in year 2019. I went to Darjeeling and Sikkim in northeast side.
Oh, this was before the COVID, I assume, right?
Yes, before the COVID time.
All right. And what was the most enjoyable part of that trip?
So the most enjoyable part of the trip was I remember we have gone to that Nathula border, India-China border, where where the India and China border meets. It's one of the connecting border between three border. I remember. So that was the memorable moment for me because I was able to see the border with my naked eyes, and I remember I also met with one of the China commando. He was on a round there in our surrounding in India border. So I met with him, and there were also a Harbhajan Singh Mandir, Harbhajan Singh shrine that was of our beloved commando, like our old commando who died there long years back, Harbhajan Singh. So
All
it
right.
was also a memorable moment.
I almost thought you were talking about Harbhajan Singh, the cricketer.
Yeah.
All right. And how was the experience of seeing the border? Could you see the soldiers on the Chinese side of the border?
Yes, I saw that some soldiers were there. They were far off, but their building was visible clearly. Soldiers were somewhat standing on the that gate post, but some soldiers were also inside the building. On the gate, 2 to 3 soldiers were there. The building was somewhat far away, but I could see.
And could you see Indian soldiers from the Indian border from this side?
Yes, Indian soldiers were there in a huge amount. They were there.
All right. So apart from this trip in 2019, have you had any other exciting trip that you can remember?
Yes, back in 2016, we also visited to Goa with our family. So it was also a memorable trip. I remember
Okay, and what was
one
exciting about Goa? The beaches.
Goa. The exciting part about Goa was the climate there. The time I visited, the climate was very cool and calm. Means every single day it was raining, and beaches were also good, but the climate I remember and liked much more the climate.
All right, good enough. Now tell me, when you travel to a new city, what is it that attracts you to that city? Is it because the city has a lot of cultural heritage, or it is because it is a religious shrine, or it has a lot of adventure? What is it that attracts you to a city in particular? Maybe it can even
Uh,
have natural beauty, for example, right?
yes. The thing I like about traveling a new city is like the cultural and heritage beauty about the city, like the old monuments which are there in the city, and the kind of people stays there in the city. That the first thing I like, and the second also the nature of the city, how the city is, what is the climate over there, and how is that city different from my city that I can enjoy there, and these are the points I like of the city.
All right. And have you been to a city in India which you have not enjoyed, which you did not like, for example?
Uh, City, most of the city I've liked only. Most of the city I've traveled. I
You cannot think of a city which you have not liked in India, basically, right? All right. Tell me now. No problem. Let's move on. Let's.
one city there was Pune.
You don't
Pune,
like Pune.
I had visited when I had visited that Mumbai. So for one day I stayed in Pune also. So Pune I don't like that city much.
And why did you not like it? You are the first person who's telling me you did not like Pune, basically.
Pune because of the climate that was also hot, and the kind of people, the nature of the people was not good. The kind of people whom I met, they were not talking very well to us and a family, like the auto rickshaws and the vendors and all these kind of experience we had in Pune. So I remember that experiences only led us to like not liking Pune.
All
Else,
right. So
Pune is a nice city. All of us know.
right, because I have always had the impression that it is one of the most attractive cities in India as it is,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
And I think you happen to be the first person who has given me a different view or a different idea about Pune, basically, right?
right, sir.
Okay, now tell me, where have you learned all this English from? Because you speak very good English, basically, right? Have you been
Uh,
to an English medium school?
yes, I have studied from English medium school only from my like first class only. I have studied from English medium school only.
All right,
I have,
and is this what you is the English medium school the reason why you can credit your good uh, spoken skills because of?
yes, the spoken skills which I possess is like only about my speak like of my school part, like what I have taught, I've been taught in school, and how I have talked to the teacher and all of the friends and colleagues in school, or my or any other meeting or part which I have took. I have spoken English. I think that is only the contribution I have got.
All right. So did you take part in extracurricular activities while you were in school or in
I
college?
I had taken, but not that up to good level that frequent on not that frequently basis. Till sixth class, I have taken in many activities. When I was in my old school, when I had changed school after that, I have not taken in that extracurricular activities. And from eighth class, basically in sports, I have taken, but not in that debate speaking part or any speaking one part. Sports I have taken
Okay.
somewhat, but not in that part.
And have you ever been a topper in school?
Yes, I was good in studies till my class six. I was in topper list only till top three of the students I was there. Until seventh also I was good. In eighth also I secured well marks, but not in the topper list. But after eighth class in ninth, my marks gradually started decreasing. In ninth, it's uh, went very below like 70 percentage. But in 10th, I studied hard and secured decent marks. And in 11th, also my studies went down. And after in 12th, I studied hard. So that's
So you've had one bad year and one good year, one bad year and then one good year, basically, right?
yes, like all of us, like in 9th and 11th, of all students, they like they relax and they don't study up to that good level. So that also happened with me also. The same situation.
Oh. And how would you define yourself as a student? Were you generally a very good student, or would you define yourself as an average student?
I would like to defend me as an average student only.
All right. So I think you're trying to be very modest, basically, about yourself, right?
If I am speaking the truth only, if I would have been an excellent and brilliant student, so I would definitely spoken that thing about myself. But I know myself about me. Like I'm not up to that mark that I was a brilliant student.
All right. Okay, good enough. So it's always nice to be very frank about yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, if you had the chance to go abroad, which country would you like to visit?
Countries, sir, I would like to visit any country abroad, like USA or UK.
All right. And what is it that attracts you to the thought of traveling abroad?
The traveling abroad, it attracts firstly uh, the people that live over there and the development these countries have in respect to our country is much on the higher side. The
Oh,
mm, all that the all that the system is there in those countries, like and with the manners which those people live there, I would definitely like to grab from them. Means they have uh, etiquettes and all the other points.
all right. Good enough. Now, tell me, do you like wildlife?
Wildlife, sir, I like a lot. Yes.
All right. And which
In
is
when
your
I was
favorite animal?
favorite animal, my tiger.
Tiger. All right. You were saying something before this, so please
Yes,
complete
sir.
what you had in
I'm
mind.
saying that when I was a child, at that time I loved more about that animal life, wildlife. At that
All
time,
right.
more that I like more about animals. I love to discover new animals and visit that kind of places of like wildlife places.
All right. And have you visited any wildlife sanctuary in your life so far?
Mm, Only in my city there is a zoo that had visited, but I hadn't visited any like specific wildlife. Uh, I remember in that in Chennai I had visited one wildlife. There was a amusement park. Inside that only there was a separate wildlife park, and that there I saw some of the different kinds of animal.
All right. And tell me, supposing you are going somewhere, right? You live in Gorakh. Where do you stay in?
So I stay in Kanpur.
Kanpur.
Right now
All
I'm
right.
in Kanpur, but I'm pursuing BTech from the JP Institute, Noida, in electronics
Noida.
and communication. So
Okay. All right.
somewhat 1 week before I only came Kanpur, my semester had ended, second semester.
Okay.
The last
Good
six
enough.
months I was in Noida. Yes.
All right. So tell me, do we have a jungle in Kanpur? Is there a jungle somewhere nearby where you live?
Jungle or zoo?
Jungle.
Jungle. Uh, there are like the area which I live. Somewhat part is the jungle only. This my like within the radius of 1 kilometer and beyond there was jungle. Somewhat 1 to 2 years back, but that they had cut down and built a college or university type area there. And
All
in
right.
some parts of Kanpur, like there is an area in west side of Kanpur. There is mostly jungle part.
Okay. And do you have wild animals in that part of Kanpur?
I guess there could somewhat like cat one, big cat one, but not that dangerous one animals like tiger or leopard. That are not there in Kanpur.
All right. Now, just assume that you are taking a walk through that jungle and you suddenly come face to face with a tiger or a lion, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, tell me, how would you react in this case if you are just within a radius of 2 kilometers away from a majestic lion sitting down there in the middle of the road, right?
Yes.
What, how would you react? Would you just run out of, would you just escape from there, or what would you do?
Uh, the reaction, sir, would be of like sudden of running away only. But I would like when first time I will saw a tiger or lion, my mind will only say that quickly run, and it will be a sudden. But I would try to calm my mind and heart that stay there only and try to talk or communicate with tiger or lion, like how they can become friends with us. Like in their language, I would if I came very close to them, I would go to him, or like slightly, I would put my hand on his head and calm that, like a friend, I will treat him. That you can say is hypothetical situation because most of the people try to run only, but I will
Right.
try to do this kind of thing because it is a different thing, and I can think like I would achieve it only.
All right. Now, the word is lion actually. It's not loin as you are pronouncing it,
Right.
right?
Oh, yes.
All right. And the other thing is, even if such a thing happens, I don't think so. Too many people would remain alive to tell the story, right? Because the
Yes.
moment the tiger sees you walking away or the lion sees you walking away, they would just stand up and maybe attack you, basically, right?
Yes, yes. They would have attacked. That's the
So
point.
you'll have to become jungle boy in that case to live with the animals, right?
Yes, correct, correct.
Yeah. Have you heard of that jungle boy story?
Jungle Boy, no, I don't know.
All right. This is a story about a young kid who was actually brought up in the jungle by animals, basically, right? I
Okay.
think this story has been made into a movie also, into a cartoon movie as well as a full-fledged movie, basically, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
All right. Now, Anshul, tell me something that you like to eat. Are you a foodie, basically?
Yes, definitely I will call myself as a foodie because I love different kinds of food.
And what type of food do you enjoy eating?
I eat most of the things like I'm vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So I try to pick new things and eat new food which I hadn't tried yet, and I like most of the foods and cuisines.
All right. Okay, good. And are you a good cook yourself?
I'm an average cooker. Like I'm not at that good level, but I can make things by myself.
All right. Now that you're home, I think you're home now, right?
Yes, I'm in home right now.
All right. So, what are the good dishes that you're going to ask your mom to make for you while you are down there?
Like all the things, the vegetables like home food is different than any other food. Like so, all the normal day-to-day food she makes, I would like that only. But the curries and dal she makes is only delicious. I would like to have that only
All
because
right. And
still
yes,
after having after having hostel food, home food is like uh, a different thing only.
it's just magical, basically, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. And tell me, when you come back on your when you're on the way back home for your vacation, what
Yes.
sort of a feeling do you have at that moment in your heart?
At
Do
that
you feel
moment,
excited, or do you feel? How do you feel, basically?
basically, the feeling at that time I was having of excitement only because after a long period of time I was heading back home. Excitement of meeting my father, mother, brother. So it was a feeling of joy, but beside also it was a feeling that of leaving back friends and memories which we had this semester. So both the feeling were there, but the majority feeling was of heading home and the enjoyment of having fun in home is at different level only.
All right. And now that you're here home and you are heading back for the second semester, what would it feel like leaving home now? How would you feel
Leaving
about this?
leaving home is very hard, that grateful and painful because when we stay for a longer duration of time, like when we had 1 month holiday, the that feeling of our parents become more stronger. Like we when we used to stay in home till our schooling level, that was on a regular basis. But when after long period we came back to home and had a good time with our family members, so they also uh, like to have after such a long time. They also don't want to go back to that college life, but that's also a process of life. We had to get back to things and we have to study. So this is a process of life, but the that leaving back of our home is like a painful process only.
All right. And I think when we were in school, we did not realize we took all of these things for granted. We took our home life for
Yes,
granted, basically, right?
yes,
It
yes,
is only now that you have left home and you are studying at college that you realize how wonderful those days were. Am I right?
yes, 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 correct.
Okay. And tell me something about your friends now in college. What sort of friends do you have?
Sort of friends I'm having is like um, somewhat of my like they are of some they are of all different backgrounds and they have different mindsets and they have different feelings and they all are different background. Some we are all like they are from different states and so we discuss our I mean, basically we all discuss our points and share our key points. The the friends I'm having are not of my batch because my batchmates are not very good. I'm having
All
the
right.
friends of different batches, but
Okay. So you're not happy with your batchmates, basically.
no, no, I'm not happy with my batchmate. In batch, I am having friends. I'm having 1 to 2 friends, but they are day scholar. In hostel, which the friends which are staying are of different batches, but they are very good in nature, and they are of my type only. The things we do is the good things, not the bad ones.